afternoon, everybody, and welcome to a review of Alya, who sometimes speaks in Russian, episode 3. Now, let's cut to the chase, guys. Let's cut to the chase. I just finished this episode, guys, and I gotta say, that's how you start a show. Now, last week was the talk of the entire week. This last week's episode was not only the top talk of the week, it was also a top 10 of week 2 when it comes to shows. And this was the biggest twist for me. Because last week it was about Yuki, who not only I didn't realize that was the MC's little sister, by the way, because I didn't follow it. I wasn't aware of it. My last week's review, I wasn't aware of it. But that scene where everybody was talking about. That scene that everybody is talking about and has been using as memes, it's been using as GIFs, it's been using as a lot of things. It's that Yuki scene where she's on the freaking bed, where the MC is sleeping, and Yuki just said, the guy was showing her chest out, she said, "Hello, big brother," and she's all pervy, trolling the MC, saying some words like, "Oh, he got a hard on that stuff." She's been the trendiest of trends last week. That was the talk. Yeah, I got some moments of Alya, but it was the spotlight was the Yuki. Now, after everything is calmed down now, we are now at this episode moment where it's time to talk about this show now. Now, Alya sometimes speaks Russian, has shown us that for a rom-com like this, and I love rom-coms, by the way, you gotta give us a flashback. You gotta give us a flashback. First episode impressions always stays about, oh, these two know each other. Okay, how did it come together? How did it come together? How they met? How they do this? How they do that? We are now getting the mother-loving answers. And like all rom-coms, there's not only give us flashbacks, but also a twist involved. And that's what we got. So without further ado, let's get right to it. The show, Alya, who sometimes speaks in Russian, episode 3 review. Okay. 1. Masha. Can I say this? Can I say this? I'm gonna raise my hand out and say this. I didn't know that those two were related. I didn't know. I did not know that was his sister. I'm serious. I've been watching this show. I've been watching all these episodes, and I have not seen a hint that those two are related. I didn't know. Because when Alya came home after episode 2, and I like how the continuation is from episode 2 going to 3. I like how when Alya came home, she said, "Good morning, Oni-chan," and I'm like, good evening, Oni-chan, and I'm like, wait, that's your sister? She's the big sister. Masha's the big sister. Alya is the first year, Masha's the second year. But again, I wasn't aware about that. I was just looking at it from a viewpoint of the show, but I wasn't aware that those two are actually sisters. Maybe they said it, I don't know. But that was a twist. I'm like, wait, that's your sister? But that's it. Okay, now for the flashback. In the words of Cosmo from the Filia parents, yay, flashback! We are now getting a flashback of how those two met. How Muzukun and Alya met. Okay, now, when it comes to backstories, there's gonna be something sad. Normally, backstories is always abusive parents, single mothers or single fathers who abuse their kids, ditch them for someone else, leaving them alone, or getting bullied, or anything that want to make you pissed off so much that you sometimes feel bad for the MC. Like, it's funny because I was thinking redo of Healer, which is the GOAT, by the way. I was thinking redo of Healer, even though it's a good anime. And then you see how the healing hero has gone through so much, and I felt bad for his backstory was so sad. So I think of Alya's story, but it's a rom-com. So you're probably going to get something sad of a backstory as to why they're like this. Kind of like Chizuru from Rent the Girlfriend, who explained why she would become why she's doing this Rent the Girlfriend thing, especially Sumi backstory as well. But other than that, I'm off topic here. So Alya's backstory was simple, not sad, nothing that makes you want to punch a wall or break your TV over something sadness. No. This is a fair backstory. So the story takes place 6 years ago in Russia. And the teacher assigned Alya and a group of friends to do a project, a business project, by the way. Now, Alya is more focused on work. She's 100% got it. It's like I'm pretty sure you have been this in real life. A teacher split into groups. You got this project. They tell you it's due within, like, let's say 2 weeks. Alya just wants it done. Alya just wants it done. And all the 3 other students then like, yeah, we got time. Don't worry about it. We still got time. It's just simple. It's a simple project. So that's what the whole thing was with Alya. Now, I do applaud her. I do applaud the Russian accent here. I effing love it. Whoever voice actors her, I gotta tell you, that is spot on Russian accent. I love it. I want to know if people in Russia are actually watching this show. I kind of wonder if the people in Russia are actually watching this show. I think Alya is the waifu of Russia. Sorry. I'm sorry. I just went off. I'm sorry. I went off, but it's just kind of like, you know how like every continent or every country represents the waifus? Can you, like, the waifu, the number one waifu in Russia is Alya, and I guarantee you that is. But it's a different topic in another way. Anyway, so Alya going to a florist and butcher shop, discover like what businesses they do. And Alya already wrote her essay down to the top notch. She already got her essays done. Her 3 students not taking it seriously. And Alya just wants things to be done. She wants things to be perfect. She wants things to be on time. She feels like having friends is going to hold her back and all that because it's going for a prize. So after everything went down, Alya decides to work alone. She didn't win. She and her friends didn't win because her friends were slacking off because they're like, yeah, we got time. Don't worry about that. I felt Alya's pain too because I've been in her shoes. I've been in her shoes where I was in the group and I did the work and no 3 didn't do shit. So I've been, and I feel your pain, Alya. I feel your pain. You're not wrong. So as years went by, we're now in the comforts of how middle school, I think they were in middle school. Yeah, middle school, to when how Mutsu and Alya met. This is what their first time they met. Now, this guy, give props to the MC in this one. He may be a slacker, but he's a freaking genius. He's the Shikamaru. By Shikamaru logic, I'm talking about he may be a slacker, but he knows how to get the project done. You know? So this whole project that they had was a cultural festival, right? A haunted house festival vibe. And Alya was all by herself making costumes, even though they had time, but Alya just want to get things done. She wants things to be done, you know? And that's kind of like Alya's backstory. She feels like her friends is gonna hold her back. She feels like if she's not getting the task done, what was the point of doing all this? But Mutsu's all like, just have fun. Doing a project, yes. Doing a project is a task. However, if you have time to have fun, doing a project, yeah, it's serious, but you gotta relax. Calm down. Just have some fun. Make friends while you're doing a project, you know. Get to know each other kind of vibe. That's what the MC Mutsu was doing. He planned everything out. He said, don't worry, I got the knitting club making costumes for us. I got the other club doing this. As a former student council president, I already got things done. So I like that. And, you know, we had a montage of them getting set up, like the whole singing montage going on. And then that bonfire, like every anime, when it comes to cultural festivals, there's always a bonfire. And Mutsu, while all the boys are clinging on Alya, say, please dance with me, please. Here comes Mutsu being the Romeo to Alya's Juliet. The Romeo and Juliet aspect. Grabs Alya by the hand and walks into the bonfire dancing. It was so romantic. Like, you know that's love at first sight. You know that's love at first sight. This is when it comes to rom-coms. It's love at first sight. But here's where it gets interesting. And here's where it gets involved, guys. Here's where it gets involved. Masha. You got a twist here, guys. There's a fucking twist. Masha. So Masha got a charm of the boy who saved her from the dogs of bullying, whatever. And we all know who that was. Now we see that Masha has a crush on him now. We know she has a crush. Permanently has a crush. I mean, like, literally, it was right there. Literally right there, black and white. I'm like, oh my God, Masha now? When I saw Masha has a crush, I'm like, no! 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 Why? God, why? Why would you do that? You got to twist like this. Now, I want to get to Masha's backstory. I hope they show us more backstories of this one. But again, this explains a lot. And then you got the MC Mutsu's backstory, where his dad and his mom, they're being separated. So he was staying with his father, and Yuki at the time was staying with his mother. I mean, with her mother. So now I kind of see the chains of who met who in the process of it all. So Masha was the first one that knows Mutsu, and then Alya was second. So I'm starting to see a pattern here. I'm starting to see a big freaking pattern here. And thus, I like that part when Masha at the end was hugging Mutsu, and that cat plushie, because you have to remember, Masha loved plushies. She loved giant plushies. I mean, look at my plushies over there. I got Rico and Sumi. So, and you could tell that they're watching you. They're literally staring at your soul. So when Masha was hugging Mutsu, and she purred him like a cat, like purr like that. You see that giant cat plushie just staring at it. And that's a metaphor. That's a metaphor. See, in case you don't know what a metaphor is a comparison between like or as. I mean, it's a comparison without using the words like or as. It's like a simile. Simile is using like or as, comparing to like or as, and metaphor is without the words using like or as. So when you're looking at the cat plushie at the end, which was so tense, you can see the cat is metaphorically replying to Alya. That means Alya is watching you. That's what it's all about. So this episode did give us a lot of answers. The whole flashback of how Mutsu met Alya and all that makes a lot of sense. Now, there's still questions I still want to know about. Like, how did Mutsu learn Russian? Or did she learn from someone else, like her grandpa or anything like that? And Masha, how did Masha met him? Because now the answers are fitting in the bill now about everything that's going on. Masha was the first. Then I believe Alya was second. So it all makes sense. But if you look closely at this MC got 3 girls. In like 3 episodes, he got 3 freaking girls. He got the 3 princesses of the school. Because if you think about it, there's the Russian girl Alya, there's Yuki, and there's Masha. Those are the top 3 girls of the school. The 3 princesses. And for him to get all 3 of them, I'm not saying he's the GOAT, but for him to get all 3, it's like, wow. Like, wow. You can't believe it. But again, this episode overall was explanatory as it is. It wasn't a harsh backstory. It was a nice, clean backstory. And this is one of those episodes where you just like, oh, come on, that's it. But it's just one of those flashback episodes where you got to sit down. It's like, that makes sense. Now explains everything. Plus the whole flashback was all Russian dialogue, so you got to have to bear with the subtitles. And like I said, if you're in Russian, you'll know what she's saying, you're fine. But other than that, though, this was a good episode, especially at the end with that Masha moment and that big old cat plushie that's been going on. So let's see where this goes for next week's episode, and let's see where this leads to in terms of the routes, the harem that this guy's harem. I know it's a rom-com, but it's a harem, and you see it going. You see it growing. So I look forward for next week's episode of it, and I'm sure you will.